finally, to the game, where we left off. Colleen had just traveled out to House Charon for a operation, which she refused to tell anyone except for Cap any more detail than it's an implant, and had just gone under. The operation has been successful, but she is not yet awake. While she was under, Tom detected the Derringer coming into March space, notified Cap. Cap called everyone back. Oh, I see your question there, Bodyguard Ash. Was it about the tabletop audio? That seems about the right timing there. Yeah, I can post a link to that later. Or you can just go tabletopaudio.com. Tom warned Cap. Cap called everyone back. Was unable to reach Colleen and reminded of the tracker on Colleen's data pad, which Colleen has disabled, and quite upset Cap. Couple hours later, Nemo receives a burst in his head unit that indicates he heard the Derringer asking March for assistance in searching the Halo of Light.
Of course, we're not exactly sure what for.
No, we're just assuming that
we made
it's
the
for
assumption
us.
that it's for us.
Correct.
Now,
Okay.
Mike, once they are in the Halo, we can leave the Halo without them being able to see us leaving, correct? If they're inside and we're outside.
No, there's no. That's why you're able to see them approaching. As you can see outside the Halo with relative ease. And keep in mind, you can see inside the Halo if your sensors are good enough. When they're searching, they don't necessarily go inside the Halo and do a visual inspection. That 8 hours represents them combing the data and trying to piece out the static and the extraneous data and locate ships that way.
So then, different question. If we turn on our emissions dampers, would that make it impossible for them to see us?
No, it doesn't make it impossible for them to see you. The emissions dampers, in effect, mask your approach. They damp your emissions, so that when you're going to a place, you're not as quickly detected.
So if we were to, say, move around the cloud with our emissions dampers on, it would make us harder to locate.
Not where you are right now. Not with already being in the cloud. My concept behind the rework of the emissions dampers was that it kind of creates a delay of detectable emissions. But right now, your emissions they're there. Even if your emissions dampers go on, they're still there and detectable. The emissions damper is only supposed to mask and make you invisible on approach into a new region.
Okay.
Could also whack if we're leaving, couldn't we? Because we'd leave like a big clump of emissions, but then we'd fly away with less emissions.
In theory, but it wouldn't really help you here because, as I said, as soon as you leave,
They're gonna see us.
Yeah, you're still in the same region. You can't get from this region to another region of space without being seen.
All right, so I think last week I was laboring under a few misconceptions.
Okay.
So, would you be willing to allow a little retcon?
Sure. Well, what is the retcon?
Had I realized that we wouldn't be able to get out of the cloud, like, we will be seen. My impression of the cloud, and I think I wasn't the only one under that misconception, potentially, that oh god, my brain just went dribble out my ears, sorry. I'm not sure Cap would have left the planet without Colleen and Dude and Nemo. Had I not thought that, okay, they're going to be searching for us inside the cloud, that means they literally have to be inside the cloud.
And I thought that the whole idea was that the Raza ship was basically leaping out of the cloud and making a beeline for the nearest system edge to jump to any other location and lead them away so that Colin could be safely recovered.
Yeah, that was the idea.
Yeah, that was kind of what I was going for.
Yeah.
I wanted Cap on the ship as a, look, if you need to go, you go.
Yeah,
Not necessarily... Yeah.
Because if we did get found while we were all on the ground, then we'd be screwed. Whereas this way we have a chance of being recovered if they discover us before we're ready to leave.
Yeah. If you still want to retcon, I'm open to that, but that is the understanding that I had, was that this was intending to split the party to try and lead the Derringer away, knowing full well that they would detect you.
No, I thought we could get out of, like, I thought we could get out of there without being seen. But so, all right.
I was running on the hope that maybe they're not actually looking for us and that their search, that this is just a us freaking out about nothing kind of thing.
But if they are searching for us, then
yeah,
we need to be ready to.
But we're not the same.
Get the hell out.
We don't have the same tags that we did before.
Mm-hmm.
No. Now, do we know if their sensors will be able to just identify our ship based on shape and size and shit like that?
But that's what Colleen's rolls do.
You have a couple of unique features, though. So, hypothetically, how a ship would identify you positively or close enough positively as the Raza is a successful search check on the halo of light identifies the ships, or I haven't figured out if it'll detect all the ships, but at least picks out the ship that is being searched for, in this case, just mechanically. And then the searching party proceeds closer to that ship so that they can get, so that they're close enough to get effectively a target lock, and then they're in combat range and can scan the ship with some of those other questions. Do they have specific fittings? In your case, they would ask, do they have vector thrust nacelles? Yes. Do they have atmospheric configuration on a cruiser? Yes. Hey guys, this might be the Raza.
Okay.
But just succeeding that check only finds ships. It doesn't outright blow all of your other measures to hide yourselves.
To them, we're currently just a frigate with a name.
Cruiser. Yeah.
A cruiser, even.
Mm-hmm.
With a name.
And to get more information, they would have to actually get close enough to run those scans.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, dude wanted Cap on ship so that if they go, oh hey, you, Something at least could be done.
We're not sitting ducks, and if that happens, yeah.
Because without the ship, we're really fucked. Down 1 or 2 crew members, hopefully temporarily. Ship not so fucked.
I think the only misconception that you actually had, Emma, was the emissions dampers in the cloud. You won't be able to sneak out of the cloud. You would be jumping out of the cloud like a fox jumping out of brush.
Sometimes that works out for
And
the
running
fox.
like hell.
And running like hell, yeah.
I mean, it's not running like that.
My
Hell will
problem-
just be
my-
flying away.
Yeah, well, yeah. My concern is when we come back, there's no one on the ship who can change the name again.
That makes you feel any better? Without Colleen being there, the emissions dampeners do absolutely nothing.
Okay, well,
Mm-hmm.
How? The attack. It just blocks
she's
it.
the
Right?
only one who's got the rolls for it.
Yep, because what it
I thought
does
they
this
just
time is
worked.
equal to 1 hour per level of the communications officer's program skill. It's the one thing we don't have redundancy on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that part of it doesn't work.
Oh, I'm sure the reducement of the drive rating works perfectly fine.
Yeah, that does. um, the part that still works even without somebody with program is the do not broadcast approach when transitioning from one region to another. Yes, you are
Yeah,
detected
for short
immediately
time of
upon
arrival.
arrival without somebody with program, but normally, like you guys just detected the Derringer before it even reached the region of space containing March, that part will still work. So if you were traveling side by side with a Derringer and you had your emissions dampers on, March will detect Derringer's approach hours before it will detect yours, even without somebody at the comm station. With somebody at the comm station, the Raza remains undetected for 1 to up to 4 hours after they've already arrived. The program skill, the comms officer's program skill, simply extends the non-detection. But you are right that without somebody that has good program, the emissions dampers are less valuable.
All right, so
So do you still want any retcon?
We will sort of stick to the original plan. What I would like to do is basically get out to the edge of space where we could jump at any point.
Mm-hmm.
And with our friendly little pilot here, I would like to try to remain on the edge of the system for a few days.
Okay.
Basically give them time to, because with our lovely pilot's skills, in theory, we could basically just go around the edge of the system and avoid the Derringer altogether.
Yeah.
They would have to get really lucky to find us, and if they do, then we GTFO.
The thing to keep in mind, though, is that if they're in the same region of space as you, which is March, at the time that you become exposed, they gain a detection lock, and they don't lose that when you transition to a new region.
So we would have to jump out and jump back.
You would.
Wait, they don't?
Mm-mm.
Oh, is that in your custom rules?
That's custom, yeah.
Okay.
In rules as written, it's an opposed check, and since I've taken out the detection checks, I took out that one as well.
In which case, I would, when we got on ship, I'd like to scan for them so we know exactly where they are then.
If we get a lock, they get a lock.
Not necessarily.
No.
So it's not like submarine combat?
Let's see. And actually, you guys have a lock on them. You do have a detection lock on them already. They're the ones that do not
Right.
have a detection lock on you.
Right.
But as soon as we leave, they could, in theory, get one.
They will, yeah. It's not even a check. The passive sensors of any ship that is frigate size or larger are good enough to see this bright glowing spot against all the other background.
What if we're on the other? What if we're on the other side of the planet from them?
It's still mechanically that there's a big bright glowing spot. I could certainly give a little bit more time for creative thinking like that, and as a DM, I really should. Mechanically, it doesn't do anything, but story-wise, yeah, I'll let you sneak around to the other side of the planet.
Because if we can do that, the planet's got to be big enough that, and there's, especially with the cloud,
Mm-hmm.
doing at least some sort of distortion.
Mm-hmm.
If we got around to the other side of the planet and jumped out, at least it would make, I would think it would make it a lot more difficult for them to get a lock on us.
I would say because the clouds hide ships by being massive in comparison to the ship. Going around the planet, the amount of cloud that is covering you in downy fluff is significantly less. There's a little bit more turbulence because it is being shunted around the planet, but it's still a much thinner layer. So I would say, and Hugo would know this, that if you wanted to stay hidden, you would essentially go into March's atmosphere and then come out the other side. So you might get some warnings from March itself.
Or we could go just batshit crazy, just exit the system, because by the time we get back in, it'll be in the same amount of time, and then we can just, put on the mission damper.
I did not follow that, I'm sorry.
No, because if we leave and then come back, it'll be the same amount of time as waiting like 3 to 4 days, and then at that point, the emission dampers would be on, and then they won't get an immediate lock.
And we could hover around the edge of the system.
Yeah. Let me throw one part of the initial conception of the emissions dampers, and that you're not detected on approach. That means that you can get into hiding features without being detected. Without the emissions dampers, since you're detected a couple hours before you actually reach the region that you're traveling towards, you would be detected. So there's the added value of the main value of the emissions dampers, even without somebody to properly utilize them.
Alright, so our best option is to kind of stick to the original plan. And get out of the system.
It was crew approved.
I know. I just I've been thinking about it all week because
I am happy to be creating content that is aggravating Emma for an entire week.
I'm not sure you should be happy about that.
Okay, what I meant to say is provoking thought for an entire week.
that might be a better way of putting it, I guess.
And I've got one other thing to offer as a retcon. There is no course trimming in a cargo lighter. It's only supposed to be a half-hour trip. So what I had said initially that it would take 6 hours, I was speedballing right past the actual rules that say cargo lighters only take 20 to 30 minutes to go from planet surface to ship. Now, March is a large planet, so I would put that at 30. Lamiera is a large planet, so I'd put that at 30.
But there's the difference. The difference for a small planet and a large planet for how much up you need to go isn't that big.
It depends on the planet's atmosphere.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. It isn't usually that much of a difference because
But it's still gonna
But it's
take
what-
them a couple hours to get to Colleen.
yeah.
Exactly,
So
and during them 6 hours, we could get to Edge's system.
But the retcon offer is I'm happy to leave it at the 2 hours that Hugo piloted. We can simply say that the Raza was not directly above, which is what the 30 minutes for the cargo lighter is assuming. Well, not directly above, but proper trajectory right above. Or we can put it at the 30 minutes. That choice really is you guys.
It's cargo lighter specific, so I'm happy for cargo lighter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that does put you a bit ahead of the other guys. So we're going to start there. And our game finally starts.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. The game has technically started. Planning is part of the game. I'm being
I was gonna say.
silly. We start with Cap and Hugo. Hugo is piloting the cargo lighter as well as a cargo lighter can be piloted with all of its. I think you got 45 tons worth of stuff in it.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Remember that stuff will have to be removed from the cargo lighter, but that can be as simple as taking the cargo lighter in through the open cargo bay, and dropping off the container, and then piloting it back around outside the ship to the actual bay where it's stored.
We can leave it in cargo until we need to remove it, can't we? There's bugger
Yeah.
all inside the cargo, I don't think, of the Raza.
Yeah, you just can't leave it attached to the cargo lighter while you're trying to make maneuvers. That's the only thing you can't do. Unless you don't care about the cargo lighter.
We pay a lot of money for that.
I suppose I could say that since the cargo lighter has... Yeah, we'll do this instead. Sorry. The cargo lighter has a dedicated docking setup, so it's designed to take the cargo container from the lighter after you land. And there's wide open bay doors that allow it to be pushed into or rolled into the actual cargo bay. And that way you're not depressurizing the massive cargo bay. You're just depressurizing the single opening for the cargo lighter that needs to be depressurized anyways.
That makes more sense to me.
Yeah, it does. Funny, I just thought of that as an option just now, and I've been considering that problem for the entire week. So, Cap and Hugo make it back to the ship. It's a fairly simple process to get the cargo lighter off, or the cargo thingy container off the cargo lighter, and then dock the lighter itself. And then you can't just leave it there because it is effectively sitting on the doors that open out into space. Don't really want the extra strain on those components, but it only takes a couple minutes, and you've got enough staff on your ship that they can start pushing it while you're getting yourselves to the bridge. What do you do?
get the cargo lighter situated and get to the bridge.
Okay. You've arrived at the bridge. Tom is happy to have you take over. Says he's going to start getting wrangling up all the crew and getting them secured to various posts, just in case.
Hopefully it doesn't come to that.
Now we don't have. Do we have ship-to-surface tight band communications?
Yeah, that's how you've been communicating.
Okay, so the Cap can still communicate with Dude and Nemo without worrying about it being intercepted.
Yeah, communications in general are supposed to be difficult to intercept. I've given Colleen a lot of leeway on that. But
Oh.
Hmm?
In that case, Cap will tell Nemo she wants him to share that encrypted message with Colleen. The one that he couldn't decrypt.
Back again.
Okay. Nemo doesn't actually keep the messages that he receives. They don't remain as data.
Oh, crap.
He routinely empties out his inbox.
So if he can decrypt it, he reads it, then remembers it. If he can't decrypt it, it's just gone.
Yeah, remember, this is some additional weird piece of hardware installed in him that's foreign to normal androids.
Gotcha. So he only ever has cache memory, he has no permanent storage.
Just temporary files.
He has memory instead of hard drive space.
Yeah. He's one giant solid state drive. My god.
Maybe if he had a copy-paste function, would be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that he really has very little, if kind of no access to the internal black box features, except for what it allows, which is for him to create that encrypted comm server.
Right.
Although I'm going to be working with Mel to make that a little bit more interactive, because his is the only one that's almost entirely passive benefits. Him and the kid, but Nick's putting that to decent use. So unfortunately, he can't play it back to Colleen.
Shit. That would have been very useful. Because then maybe we might know what exactly they're looking for.
Yeah.
Want me to reach out to Jason, see if he's heard any private words in regard to their offer?
No. Leave your
Okay.
friend out of this point. I don't want to get him into any more trouble than we necessarily have to.
You guys have about an hour and a half, well, an hour on Dude and Nemo. Are Hugo and Cap taking any active actions?
We're gonna get out of here.
Okay, so they're jumping from the bush.
Yep, we're gonna jump from the bush.
Okay. Now, how would you like to do that? Do you want to do that as if you're just a ship casually leaving, or are you pushing out full throttle?
I mean, there's no difference. It just goes as fast as it wants.
Are you flying casually or?
Well, then, because then if we've just got a really high drive, or if we're booking it,
I'd rather not draw more attention to us than we have to. Still,
I was just making a Star Wars reference.
Yeah.
well, okay.
I'm afraid I missed that one.
Yeah. I think the
Fly casually.
yeah, Return of the Jedi.
Sure, you're right. Exactly.
Oh.
I got it. I think as not involved player character, mechanically, would you lose any advantage by flying out as if you're just another ship on his normal business?
Yeah. Think of it in terms of cars on an on-ramp to the freeway. You can either build up speed normally and try and have matched the speed by the time you get onto the freeway and then just go along with the flow, or you can gun it and be blazing as fast as your car can get you by the time you hit that freeway.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same with airport checks. They look for unusual behavior.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, airport checks. I heard airport sex for some weird reason.
You
Yes,
still got
they
that.
also look for unusual
You've
behavior.
still got
there.
the whole planetary
You
sex
still got the
thing
planetary
going on,
sex
Mel.
in your head.
Yes.
Yeah, and while it's true that the starship just kind of it just has a top speed, you don't always have to be flying at that top speed, and I think most ships around stellar bodies don't just hit the gas and put it down to the pedal or the metal.
Because it's kind of suspicious when you do that.
that's what Hugo normally does. More time back on planet then. Less time stuck out in the wastelands.
Yeah, and that's how he needed a lift from without too many questions asked.
And he also was doing that in a ship marked and known as a courier. Not a new ship, but a ship that was already known to all the authorities, who could fine him if he was being too reckless. But yeah, he was already identified that, oh, that's why he's doing that. Okay, it's cool.
Oh, that's just Hugo. That's
Exactly.
what it was.
Yeah. Oh, that asshole.
Whereas we came as a cargo ship, basically, for the purpose of trade.
Yeah.
So gunning it out of here would look probably pretty bad.
Well, there's the tension. Do you assume they're going to find you immediately and haul ass to get as much ground as possible, or do you hope that they don't and see if you can sneak to gain? Because if they know already and you try sneaking, you've lost the advantage of the jump in speed. It's like
That's one. We've still got like
Well, if they
a couple of hours until
start
they
coming,
arrive. Because as soon
I
as
thought
they
they
enter the system, we'll know. Well, this region. By that time, we'll be halfway
They are in the
away.
region.
No, I was going to say, I thought they were already in the cloud, weren't they?
No, they're not in the cloud. They're in the region of space.
Into the region, entering the cloud.
Gotcha.
No, they're not actually entering the cloud. They're just the region of space that you're in includes a section of the cloud. Because it's a vast, basically abstract radius around the planet Lamiera.
Right.
And they've just asked for permission to scan the cloud.
Oh, they've asked for help scanning
As
the
for
cloud.
assistance in
Assistance, right? Not permission.
Mm-hmm.
yes.
yeah. Which is why we made the assumption that they are searching for us.
Yes.
Right, and they don't have to. They don't actually have to get into the cloud to scan it.
No, they just have to have enough data processing and good enough data processing people to try and process the data. Getting
Which
into the
they
cloud doesn't
do.
help them at all.
Right, and we can't consult with the person who might know how long that might take them.
Right, because she went off to go do her own thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we let her.
She was gonna do it anyway. They're let and allow did not factor into
Well,
that
yes,
interaction with Colleen.
that is quite often the problem.
And this is why having characters who have their own motivations sometimes a pain in the ass, and Nick's always do, and he's always a pain in the ass.
Tell us how you really feel. Wait, that might be a bad idea.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, do go on.
No, let's consider the decisions that your character has to make.
So, Kim, I would like to try what I think where my brain is going with this is I think what Cap would do is okay, let's try to get out. Without drawing unnecessary attention, okay? I think that that's the wisest course of action for us at this point. And if for some reason they do go, oh, hey, look at that ship, then we can gun it.
So yes, fly casual.
Fly casual. We're because we don't have to like announce that we're leaving or anything. We can just pack up and leave, and that's.
They don't have space traffic control.
I'm assuming not.
No, you get authorization to leave the planet, but leaving orbit is just kind of on your own. You had to get authorization to take the cargo lighter up.
Yeah, flight patterns and all that kind of stuff.
Because at that point, you're actually in the atmosphere and a much greater risk to things.
Right.
Yeah. But they didn't stop us,
Yeah.
which is good. So if we just act like we're leaving, like normal people leave,
Yeah.
it may give us some small advantage. Because I don't want to piss off the Lamy Era or March authorities by gunning it out of their system and looking horribly suspicious and not being able to, not having the person on the ship who can, change the, hardware identity.
Right.
Does that make sense to everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you can get out, get safe without arousing suspicion, then by all means.
I think that is, at least at this point, the wisest attempted course of action.
Yeah. No. That hopeful outcome is one that the dude is at least hoping would be the ideal, because Cap sort of sneaks off. We go get Colleen. We signal the ship, and then we figure out a way to meet up and get the hell out of here. With hopefully none the wiser.
I created a handout and threw it in your face just to make it easier for you to see exactly the nature of these special features.
You had fun with that effect, didn't you?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I couldn't think what else to write there.
Uh-huh.
It's gas.
Yes, it is. Not all gases are farts.
I defy you to prove that.
Well, considering that you're breathing several.
And how do you
He's
know?
probably also breathing farts.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Consider-
probably
well-
breathing dinosaur farts.
If there's methane gas in the air, you're breathing cow farts.
I was gonna say, Matt is not that old.
There you go.
Are you sure about that?
He's not Methuselian. Oh, all right. So yeah, that's Cap's instruction. Everybody, get ready for the worst and let's hope for the best.
Alright, Tom asks if you want somebody manning the gun.
Yes.
Okay. He actually, oh, you've got Eileen. He puts Eileen on that.
Like I said, prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Sorry.
Alright, this is on you,
Sorry.
Hugo.
Let's fly away, let's fly away.
You know those aren't the words, right?
For my words.
Fair enough.
Wait, so that was supposed to represent an actual song?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Come fly with me.
That's what we're doing. We're flying away from this place.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how the gang spaced Hugo.
Okay. All of the standard features are included. It's actually more than I thought I wrote. Cool. Hugo starts taking the Raza / Mistral out of the cloud.
Preferably, like, not right across the nose of the Derringer.
You don't want to fly through combat range past them?
No.
do a little flyby and wave at them.
Okay.
No, that would be the one-fingered wave.
Yes.
Yes, because you do have a detection lock on them. You know where they're at. You can even try and head towards an edge of the system that.
They're not occupying.
Well, they're occupying a region of space around March, so don't have to worry about that. But you can try and leave the cloud completely opposite to them without sacrificing too much time getting to the edge of the system.
Yes.
Within seconds after you leave the cloud, however, you are hailed.
Bye.
By the Derringer. A quick broadcast.
She's gonna have. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
A quick broadcast, greeting message, sort of, with ship identification Mistral. Stop where you are and prepare for galactic mandate inspection. The Derringer is not moving at this point. It is still in orbit around March. Or around La Miera.
Can we tell how much of a lead we have on them if we punch it?
Hugo can estimate that. Hugo thinks that if you punched it right here, you would have about a 4-hour lead on them.
Which would keep us out of combat range.
Yes.
And the
Because
punch
if they
through-
board us,
well,
we're fucked.
what is it? 2 hours to get a jump to the out from the edge of the system, right?
30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And you can
Oh,
even
just
rush that
instant
to
if
make
you
it in
want to
a
rush
single
it.
round. Which, they're talking about space, so I still assume that when they say a single round, they mean in 15 minutes instead.
I'm just picturing Mo and those other guys trying to carry the whale through the woods, and cheese it, it's the feds! When they see the federal officers. Like, okay, they hailed us. Shit.
Do we have the right to refuse boarding?
Technically, no.
I was gonna say, I don't feel like the galactic mandate's that kind of government.
However,
Yes, same answer as last time.
you know a little bit about March. Hang on real quick, let me... Oops, wrong thing. Well, okay. Where Galactic Mandate has jurisdiction, they are properly authorized as the law. However, they don't own March. They don't own any of the systems that they patrol. Their jurisdiction is by agreement with the system. So, if March, for whatever reason, tells them that they're not authorized to take any action, if March actually, gets themselves involved in this, then no, they would not have the authority to just board you.
But we don't know if they're cooperating or not.
You don't know if they're cooperating or not. Hugo knows this. The more personally powerful star systems are less likely to directly cooperate with Mandate, with obvious exceptions where they want all the cooperation. It varies from place to place, but let me rephrase that. The more personally powerful systems are more likely to make their own decisions on whether they want to cooperate or not. And March, with its exchange of light centrality, is very powerful.
So there's a good chance that they're not cooperating with the Mandate.
Derringer might be overreaching its power. Possibly.
Was the communication to the ship only to the ship?
Mm-hmm.
So March wouldn't have known that Derringer said, "Hey guys, stop."
No.
We'll need to send a message to Jason saying that the Derringer is harassing his clientele. I'm sure March would love that one.
Oh hell, do I want to risk it?
I mean, we're just going to simply send a message saying, hey, just to let you know, Jason, the Derringer is harassing business personnel. We might get a couple of complaints.
It can't hurt.
I'll say out of character. Does it even need to be Jason?
That's his buddy, though.
Yeah, but I mean, you could just be like, you could call March Traffic Control, be like, hey, so this ship out here bugging us. Is that something you guys are in with? But, that's
Remember, Jason actually does work for Traffic Control.
Yes, he
He works
does.
indirectly traffic control. He'll probably know some of the managers. Hence why I'm like, I'll bling 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 bling. Call Jason.
You get his voicemail.
Hey, Jason. Just to let you know, this Derringer mandate people. They seem to be harassing ships as soon as they try to leave the planet, saying that we've got to stop and let them board and search us. Just thought to let you know, as they're going to be pretty much harassing every single ship that tries to enter and leave. You might want to let your managers know about that one. Don't want to get all the complaints.
Well, so Cap will tell him, do me a favor and ask, actually call the planetary traffic control and not just your buddy, and see if they expect us to cooperate with the Derringer.
Yeah.
In which case, I'll do just that. I'll call up the Point Side hotline.
Yeah, if we're expected to cooperate, if we are, then we're gonna get you TFO.
Okay. You call the.
And the Derringer's not moving, right?
The Derringer is not making any moves towards you just yet.
Okay.
You can call up the air traffic control. Yeah, the help hotline, basically. And get a pleasant voice on the line. Blah, blah, blah,
Hello.
blah, blah. How can I help you?
Hello. Was currently getting hailed by the Derringer, saying that they're wanting to make us stop and they're going to board and search our ship. Just curious if this is allowed, because also I wouldn't want every other ship here to be harassed by them as they're trying to leave your planet.
The controllers ask you to hold on, check some things, and says, see your identification, your ship ident as the Mistral, cruiser class merchant ship. Can you
Correct.
confirm? At this time, we're unaware of any abnormalities. Please cooperate with Galactic Mandate in all aspects.
Okay, just thought I would give you a heads up in case anyone else calls. Thank you.
Oh shit.
You're welcome. I hope you have a wonderful space flight.
You too. And then.
Damn it.
Have a nice space day.
So, Cap, you want to be searched?
No, already been there, and then they shot at us. I don't think they'll give us a chance to get away this time.
So, we're going for a little drive, are we? Well, flight.
Why do they have to make my life so difficult?
Wanna go quick?
Get us out of here.
As I turn the throttle up to full.
You immediately get another hail from the Derringer. Cruiser class Mistral, stop immediately or we will engage in pursuit. Do you guys stop?
Want me
Nope.
to send them a message?
Nope.
Because shouting freeze at someone who's running away is always working.
I do not respect your authority.
No, I do not respect their authority.
In this case, yes, I shall report.
We can't afford to let them board us because Cap will.
They'd recognize
All
the ship
arrested.
immediately.
What's this gonna say? Say, Sarge, does that ship look familiar to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah, I shall attempt to book it.
Okay.
Do everything you can to keep them away from us.
I book it.
So trimming the
Trimming
course.
the course.
Okay.
Let's pray.
Well, we got a solid lead on him.
Probably used up my only good roll, but hey, let's go for it.
Oh, just wait till you find out the drive rating.
Well,
yeah,
I've just took ours up
theirs
to
is
a
better
3.
than ours.
Oh yeah, hence why I'm trying to make ours a 3 instead of a 2.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The Derringer gives chase. So you guys have a drive rating of 3, including the trim the course. Excuse me.
Is the Derringer trimming the course?
If they fail, then they won't catch us at all.
Yeah, but their pilots aren't bad.
Actually, the pilot was shit. Well, kinda.
Yeah, because they can either do what they're doing or can try and trim the course, but if they fail, whew, we're gone.
Well, it becomes the question: would they catch us? Would they catch you without trimming the course?
No.
They wouldn't, because they would be at a drive rating 3.
So then we're already in the middle of system, of region, whatever.
Yeah,
We're going half this.
you are 4 hours away from them, and getting to you is, well, it's like a transition from one point of interest in a region to another, except set the distance between you at 4 hours instead of 6. So that's the amount of distance that they have to make up. Let me get to my Derringer. Where the heck did I put them? There they are. Oh, they are... Because it's a ship, there is no roll secretly option. Because they're just a PC.
Not sure you need to roll secretly, because even if you do, the result will be immediately obvious to anybody.
Oh no, I was looking at it wrong. The ship stats don't have anything to roll except for weapons. They don't have the skill rolls.
Nope, that'd be NPCs.
Yeah.
In which case it's just 2d6 plus applicable skills.
Mm-hmm. Skill name, skill. Oh my god, I still hate how many times I have to click things.
Sub little macros.
No, I mean once you click the skill, it still asks 3 different questions, and I'm like, I don't want to answer any of these questions. Except for NPCs, I do find being able to name it for each skill roll to be helpful.
Oh, that's an 8, is that? Oh. They done fucked up.
Let's see. Yep, successful pilot check at difficulty 9.
Yep, they done fucked up. Took them twice the time.
They are losing ground on you.
Well, space, but
Yeah.
Semantics.
So,
So-
Mel.
Seems like I've managed to get away from them, Cap.
You haven't gotten away from them yet. They are losing
But they're
ground.
gonna keep. Yeah, they're gonna keep coming at us until we can get to the edge of the system and jump out.
Oh no,
The
but
one
we'll
thing
be able
I
to get
have to
the
give the
Genesis system.
Derringer is that they are doggedly determined little bastards.
Eh.
Is that they are doggedly determined little bastards.
Let's move over to the other group over here.
Doggedly determined douchebags. For extra alliteration.
I was gonna say, is that a band name?
It might
It is
be
now.
now.
It's the name of my cover band.
It's the name of my Butthole Surfers cover band.
Oh, Jesus. Dude and Nemo have arrived in House of Charon. You don't know exactly where Colleen is having her operation, but you're given some good locations to check from Hugo's wannabe fuck buddy.
Right.
The pilot drops you off, takes his payment, and bids you a good day. House Charon has a slightly different aesthetic and feel to it than House LaRue did. Things seem more mechanical in visual nature. Well, in aesthetics. And things that don't need to be automated are automated. There are acts of roboticism more or less everywhere. A complex machine as you're leaving the little local starport flips a bunch of multifaceted cubes in again keep saying the same words, complicated fashion, just to greet you.
Well, that's reasonably spectacular looking.
It is.
Kind of a lot of effort to greet just, us, but...
It struck me as a potential problem. Do we know which name Colleen might have registered under?
Well, shit.
I will ask Nick, because the DM doesn't know what name Colleen registered under.
Well, I mean, we don't know, so the DM doesn't even need to know the answer to that
The
question.
DM does need to know.
Well, not while we're talking about it, though.
The DM.
She would be in as Audrey McClure.
Okay.
Reason being that's how she gets to the genetic scans as well, and chances are they might have
Yeah.
a database there as well. So why trip an official business with fake names?
Yeah,
I said she didn't go to Bob's Butchery.
yeah, that makes sense.
All of it is above board.
Mm-hmm. We weren't here breaking the law.
Nope.
Or throwing shit on the ground.
She'll go to Bob's Butchery afterwards for some meat, for some pork chops.
Mm-hmm. And tenderloin.
But are you aware of any name that you might be, any aliases that you might be using?
No, I don't think she's ever... I mean, I never ask about her shady program and stuff.
Was Dude there when she was saying that she's Audrey McCure?
She hasn't told anyone that they didn't inquire.
Okay,
She
so
said
only
she's
Cap
in the
knows.
system and told them about things. I'm not sure that Cap actually knows the name, just the circumstances around it, as in, I have a name.
It was
might
all
have
over the
system,
packing slips.
Cap
Cap
knows.
would have seen that.
Yep.
And I believe that stuff was also left on the table, wasn't it?
Only what was inside.
Right, I remember you saying that she had removed the paperwork, so only Cap at this time. Okay.
Did she? No, she told Cap what kind of surgery she was getting, and Cap told us, right?
I said she was getting an
Implant.
An implant.
implant.
Mm-hmm. And that's why you know where to look.
Yeah.
And we're presuming that we're talking about cybernetics and not, well...
In all fairness, Colleen never specified.
In all fairness, Colleen doesn't need the other kind.
Right.
So the question of need, it's a question of aesthetics.
I was gonna say nobody needs them.
Well, that was more saying that she is already well endowed, and only
That has
the
not stopped people before.
only the closer crew of the Raza would have ever known that. Because I think Nick, you're keeping clothing style in lockstep with the show, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, the kind of style that doesn't actually reveal those womanly curves.
Technically her current style might, cause it's the more business-like outfit, if you
Oh.
remember.
Yes.
But even then, it's modest, not revealing.
Yes.
But it might show off the curves more.
It
and
is
it's
less
more feminine than anything else.
Yeah, it is less flumpy, and so it shows off. It not shows off, but it reveals what the body shape actually is more easily.
But yes, otherwise it's robes and flared clothing.
Yeah.
Moving multiple articles. Yep.
Well, I mean, I don't know if she came in under an alias. It makes sense. Because we wouldn't want to use, I don't know. The best I can think of is we get in the general area where we think this place might be and just keep trying to call her ass. If she pops back up.
We did get the number of possible clinics cut down to like 3 different options, didn't we?
A number wasn't stated, but it's a more manageable search than just looking in every shop in the city.
Right. But we actually have addresses that we can go to and check one by one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, while we do that, we might as well work methodically and start with the location closest to us and work out from there.
Makes sense to me.
Are you going to rent a car or a driver?
If I was willing to spend an hour, I wouldn't have to pay for it.
I think the nature of that particular focus would really only get you transportation to one place, not. I mean, it could
Rental
stretch.
car for a day.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, it would. Yeah, it gets to a place.
Yeah.
As long as there's traffic going there. Just keep redoing it after each place, but yeah, that would be least efficient.
It would. It would probably get you there faster than walking, but still not very efficient.
So where we've been dropped off is not close enough to walk to the nearest place.
Well, it is, but it's not very fast.
Right.
The cyberware clinics seem to be the feature or the attraction of the city that is placed closer to the local starports, as if that's what people come here for. The more robotics or non-human integration robotics type stuff is placed closer to the stellar or larger spaceport for people that are literally coming to this planet and going straight to House Charon instead of House LaRue. So you've been placed at a closer location. You do see driverless cars flipping back and forth, flitting about.
So that's the question: is do we need to rent a vehicle, or can we is there just taxi services that could just pop you around?
Well, that's what I meant by a driver.
Okay.
You can just get a taxi service fairly easily. You even see Transformers. They don't appear to have human faces or voices, but you see one of those driverless vehicles kind of pull up to the curb and compact itself into a rectangular, cube.
So presumably things will start exploding soon.
Either that, or we just watched George Jetson's car park.
Oh yeah. It doesn't pack up quite that tightly.
That'd be awesome if it did.
But a larger scale version of that. Component sizes don't actually change. Everything stays the same size as it was.
It just compacts out all the empty space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were going to. They claimed they were going to stick with that rule for the first Transformers movie, and then that's why they picked Optimus as that giant truck.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then they went, boy, that was stupid, and ignored it for the rest of the movies.
And well, in all fairness, if there's one thing that the original any of the original Transformers series was known for, it is the hilariously wildly inconsistent scale.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, Transformers cartoon is pre-tech. Transformers movies is pre-tech. Yeah.
Yeah. Transformers cartoon was made really cheaply.
Yes.
Well, these robot cars do not look like they were made cheaply, but they also don't look like a whole lot of extravagance was put into them. They're clean lines, they're clean angles, but they're not decorated with ivory or bronze.
Gotcha. Do they have automated cabs that you can just sort of tell, take me here, take me there? So
yeah, that's actually
Yeah.
what those are.
Okay.
Without leaving much of a paper trail.
Mm-hmm.
That would be
Excellent.
ideal.
Yes. You pay for the ride, and that's the only transaction that occurs, as far as you know.
Well, let's do that.
Okay.
Okay.
You walk up to one of the posts. It's kind of like those bicycle racks in San Francisco, where you put in your credit card and rent it for however long you need it, and then put it back at one of the locations, or tell it to self-park, which is probably what this one just did. And you're done with it. So it's an open-ended cred stick transaction.
All right. Let's hit the road. Hopefully she starts responding to messages soon.
And we'll just drive to whichever location is closest on our list.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We still haven't approached the point in time that you had said that Colleen woke up and started seeing our messages, have we?
No, you guys had about a half hour on her,
Right.
so that half hour is essentially starting right now. Okay, the information that Hugo got was good. It matched Colleen's research as far as finding quality, good places to go for cybernetics implant work. And now it's just a matter of, what is your luck?
Well,
There's no luck save, and I don't really like the concept of luck getting better as you gain levels. Well, I mean, it has a certain charm, but I'm not going to use it. Oops.
Right.
That didn't work.
And once we get there, Nemo will be as personable as possible and engage whatever they have as informal receptionist in trying to find out if a patient matching Colleen's description is admitted there.
Okay. And with a polite inquiry, you butt up against the equivalent of HEPA laws.
I was gonna say.
Your request is just as politely declined.
Yes, that's why we'll try some charisma talk to convince the nice receptionist of the urgency of the situation.
Okay. Does Nemo give any details about why it's an urgent situation?
That basically that she is that she's a runaway and that we're working for her very influential father and that we really need to get her back before there can be a big before there'll be a big scandal.
Okay.
And a lot of negative publicity.
Go ahead and roll charisma talk.
Okay. I'll use commit processing for social chameleon.
I have to look this up.
There's another +1. It's replacing chameleon. It's just replacing my talk skill with the chameleon skill.
That's what I thought it was. Kind of a staple routine for this particular build.
Yep. Ugh.
It's primarily what allows you to be charisma focused without having all the extra skill points that an expert gets.
Yes.
She looks at Nemo and is concerned enough to check her records, all the while telling you that even if she was admitted as a customer, she would not be able to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
But she is clearly scanning who has come in. You gave her a time frame of, well, a decent time frame.
Yes, and a physical description.
And
including the details about the hair.
She looks back up and tells you that she has not admitted anybody by that description.
Okay. And it does not appear. She appears to be truthful. And
she appears to be truthful. She appears to be a little concerned.
Okay. Actually, let me do a high acuity check as well.
Okay. There is a little bit of worry in her voice.
That notice plus. There's no notice. Is that with notice?
It is with notice, yes.
Okay. I thought it might be. I'll reroll that 1, but it doesn't actually matter because at most that 1 will turn into a 6, and it'll turn into a 6 anyway.
Oh yeah. It'll turn into a 7, but that's still lower than the 8 that you get.
Yes. Yep.
However, the 8 that you get with that hyperacuity is sufficient to say that the worry is residual from the story that you gave her.
Okay.
And it didn't increase. There was almost a sense of relief on her face when after she perused the books and looked up at you.
Well, thank you very much, ma'am. We'll get out of your hair right away.
Okay. This is still the same scene, so don't uncommit that processing yet.
Will do.
I'll actually try and start, now that you guys are using scene-based things more often, I'm going to try and be better about just simply marking when the end of a scene is.
Right.
That'll be good.
And if you have any questions, you can always just say, has this been a new scene since such and such? Alright. Did you release your transformer cart, or did you keep it running?
Would we have had to?
Well,
You can choose either. Keeping it running keeps the charge time running.
Ah, they're not per mile, they're just time-based?
They're time-based.
That's bullshit.
Fuel is cheap enough that the per mile is kind of unnecessary.
So it is just the amount of time the thing is occupied with your job.
Yes.
I would hope that it's not... Did we at least get a rate check before we stuck our card thing in?
Yeah, it's not going to break you.
Okay.
Depending on how long you use this, I may not even ask you to take anything off your credits.
Gotcha. Okay, so yeah, we would have just kept it.
They're affordable for normal people going around.
Okay.
You
Dude
guys
would
have
not
a
have-
lot more money than normal people.
Yeah. Yeah, but we have a lot high... We
Sure,
are high
we
maintenance.
have more. Yes, we have more expenses too.
Sure, I could nickel and dime you into destitution because of your ship. You know, make you pay 5 here, 10 here, and eventually that adds up to 1,000, which is still nothing compared to your
But
ship.
you know that in response, that'll just turn us into actual motor hobos.
I hope that is not true, but it also feels unnecessary for me to do so.
Because as it stands, we have just been hobos.
Yes.
We have been wandering around. We have been looting through other people's old garbage.
Yeah.
Yes, but we haven't actually killed anyone and stolen their stuff.
No.
For convenience and expediency, I will probably just refer to the chart on page 178 and kind of make a judgment call as to how long you've occupied it and decide if this is a lot of money to a slum dweller, a lot of money to an ordinary worker, how long have you actually, had the vehicle.
Gotcha.
And
Admittedly, we have stolen a lot of stuff from dead people, but they were dead before we got there.
Yeah.
We haven't made anyone dead to steal their stuff.
You stole the shuttle from Asshole Tower on Rain Lilati.
Yeah, but they were trying to kill us.
Yeah, I was gonna say. But Dad, they started it.
We didn't,
Exactly, they did. They started it.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we didn't go into that situation with the intent of making them dead to take their shuttle.
No, we just made them dead, and then
We were
I
trying
might as
to
well take
help
this
them.
shit.
Yes, quite the opposite, in fact.
And I guess we can't really be hobos. We haven't ridden on a train yet.
A space train.
I mean, you could consider the cargo lighter kind of like a train.
But that's a train we own. Oh shit, we're rich hobos.
You don't know if it's a train you own. It's a train... Oh, you did buy that yourself.
Yes,
Never
we
mind.
did buy that. The shuttle we didn't buy.
Alright, back to the game. So,
We never left.
you just for the sake of ease, unless it's out of character for you guys, just say that the car is left occupied for the time that you were here.
Oh yeah, no, dude would have left Nemo to his. Dude knows Nemo and his ability to,
Bullshit.
yes, chameleonically bullshit people.
Okay.
He's still interested in it, and still, a little like, okay, that's weird. But he would have hung back by the vehicle and just kept an eye on, like, people watching just to make sure, like, suddenly cops don't go, like, hey, it's that guy! Kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, so yeah, he would have been hanging out there. So, if Nemo comes back, well, nothing, I'm assuming?
No luck here.
Yeah, well, I figured.
On to the next one.
Alright, well, hop in. How many we got of these places?
An inexact number that is
I was
Fewer-
gonna,
more
I was
than-
hoping the DM would have come up with one by now.
more than few, but less than many.
There you go.
You have a list that goes up to 10.
Okay.
The first few on that list are given a much higher weight.
Okay. Is the distance between many of them substantial enough that if we picked someplace that might be more,
Oh, thanks.
would it be a waste of time to go to some place that seems nicer to one of the better ones on the list rather than just go by distance?
I'm not sure if that's a DM question. That sounds more like a Nemo and Dude question. Unless you want to make some kind of roll to tell you whether Dude would know more
Well,
about them.
I mean, the ones that
she
are
has showed a marked tendency towards lavish spending lavish spending on shopping on personal projects.
yeah, that's true. Question is, if well, as a DM, are the ones that are higher on the list substantially farther away than the ones that are just closer?
Yeah, there's a decent distance to them. If you wanted to make the most efficient route, you would not be going to the ones on the top of the list necessarily first.
Okay.
Right. In that case, let's scrap the most efficient route and go for the most expensive instead. Seems
Yeah,
like a likelier course.
That's my thinking. I don't. Well, I got to say, the words efficiency and Colleen don't exactly. They're puzzle pieces that look like they might fit, and then you kind of jam them up against each other, and it doesn't quite do it.
Correct. And since she was in no hurry to go here, the proximity to the proximity to the transportation hubs would be of no concern either.
Yeah. Yeah. What's number one on the list with a bullet? Let's punch that in.
Let's see. All right, you head off to location number 2. Well, location number 1, as designated by the die there. Apparently, that's just a coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
But the next location on your list that you think is most likely, you head on over, and you see a big old sign out front that says closed. Not a permanent closure.
Just. Mm-hmm.
A little robotic mechanism, where a video screen would be just perfectly fine. A robotic mechanism is changing the letters, and it's in celebration of 50th anniversary. Closed for the day.
Well, if they've been
What kind of way to celebrate is that?
I was gonna say.
How are you gonna get?
There's
for people in for a celebration, shut them out.
Most businesses open on their anniversary.
The lettering is rearranged again to depict a simple image of 2 people holding hands. That kind of anniversary.
That kind of anniversary.
And it almost looks like one of those hands might be on a robotic arm. Or it could just be a trick of the imagination. Right.
Still a little weird to explicitly point out why you're closing your store. I mean, 50th anniversary is nice and all, and it's certainly well worth celebrating, but I don't know that I would broadcast it to the public because, by the way, I'm closed. Totally my anniversary. As opposed to just sticking a closed sign up on my door and going, bye.
Perhaps it is a particular custom here?
Could be.
And I'm
Okay,
gonna move
well-
over to Colleen.
We've almost certainly killed a half an hour by now.
Mm-hmm. Colleen wakes up. Her eyes open. It's bright. She's woozy. And there's this persistent, dull throb in her head.
Clearly someone is talking about her. She implements the thing I posted to you last week.
um, she'll need to get somewhere where she can do that first. She is given it's a brightly colored, not plastic, but plasticky. It's not low quality, but it's clearly not intended for any purpose other than what she's being given it for. And the doctor tells her that once she's had a few minutes to recover, and the doctor's checked her eyes and made sure she's okay. He tells her that this drone is already pre-linked to her, and it is designed to attempt to assess her level of strain, and will deactivate if she is straining too much. It tells her don't put a lot of strain on your link. Your neurons and your neural network is still trying to come to terms with this foreign invader in both hardware and thoughts. But she's basically got a kid's play drone to test with. He does another once over of her vitals, and then tells her that she's okay to leave, and asks if she needs a ride anywhere.
Actually, since she's here, she's asking if he can just actually draw a blood sample from her medical evaluation on her.
He can just give her a copy of her medical evaluation that they're going to keep on file here.
Nah, they want a blood sample. You know how it is.
He says
Don't
that
trust anyone.
the sample actually includes, or the evaluation actually includes a blood sample.
Well, that'll work. They just want to make sure we don't just bribe the doctor on the planet.
Yeah. Looks at her strangely, but doesn't give him any pause to think any further. He just asks the one of the nurses to make a copy of that and include an actual blood sample for the patient.
Well, in that case, yeah, she would ask for a ride, and maybe if then, and she would look up the address of said service she requires.
Okay.
While that thing comes.
Okay. He makes those arrangements for her. Dude and Nemo, you're traveling to I presume, the other top 3 location?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
I will say that as we've gotten into this thing and let the automatic drive kind of take us places in the between driving stretches.
Mm-hmm.
Dude has been occasionally sending basically a hey kid poke on Skype, kind of just.
Pick up. Pick up. Pick up.
Colleen, 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 Colleen. Or-
knock, 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 Colleen. Knock, 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 Colleen.
Knock, 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 kid. Knock, 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 kid.
Pick up. Pick up. Pick up.
Just like Skype, the user is currently offline. They will see the message when they next log in.
Okay. The doctor receives that evaluation from the nurse and sets it on top of her furiously blinking data pad, which is also on top of her clothes, and says, hands it them all to her, says, I'll leave the room for you to get dressed, and you received a few messages.
Well, I guess she looks at the messages.
She sees all the messages. They can be transcribed into text. Those that weren't text are transcribed into text, I should say.
Yeah, we can have this without the audio. Yes, audible sigh. When she gets dressed.
Okay. Does she send any messages to anyone?
Nope.
Alright. She gets her transformer car. Would that be a trans Uber? Or an Uberformer? Either way.
Neither.
No.
A trans lift. How's that? Not much better.
Moderately better.
She gets her ride to the service that she is being very, that the player is being very vague about.
Oh, I was very specific to certain persons.
Yes, you were, and
To everyone who matters.
yeah, thank you. And performs the action she performs. That doesn't make for
Yay, pointless vagueness.
for great content or player involvement, by the way. Even leaving the
Yeah,
stream.
but Nick's never good at that.
It also
Well,
feels vaguely insulting.
I have made it known to Nick that I don't
As if we're not capable of separating in character and out of character knowledge.
I don't think he's trying to insult you like that. And I have made it clear to Nick that I prefer not to have all the secret stuff going on quite so secretly. So I am assuming, since he knows that this is plot and character relevant vagueness. And we'll roll with it. Dude and Nemo arrive at the third location.
Okay. Well, try the same spiel as before.
Okay. You can go ahead and make your talk roll again.
Posing as a. I'll reroll that one.
Okay. Can you do that on Social Chameleon?
I can do that on all rolls involving talking to people.
Oh, that's right. You've got a completely different focus for that.
From a completely different focus.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Go for it. Well, it is technically better.
Yes, it still makes it a 10.
And this time Nemo gets a much more distinct reaction. Although she is trying to disguise it as much as possible, well, maybe that's a little bit misstated. She's trying to disguise it. Nemo sees her mouth something as she is reading over the names and gets visibly more worried.
Can I do either an int observation to read her lips, or a dex stealth to try and sneak a peek at her screen?
The screen is recessed, but the int notice sounds like a perfectly fine use of it.
I will do that then.
Okay.
People are always looking at my screen when I work.
Screen peekers.
Yes.
I try not to. 'Cause I don't want people looking at mine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I don't like. It's not like I have anything on there that's bad, but you don't need to. You don't need to know what I'm working on.
Where's my sheet not coming up?
I don't know. I explicitly have things on my screen that can't be seen by people not authorized to see it.
Yeah.
I just got a little box saying that's showing my name instead.
Let me pull you up here. It's coming up fine for me.
Yeah, when I open it, I just get a little rectangular box with my name.
Huh.
Did I minimize it somehow?
Yeah, you double clicked it.
Ah, okay.
I mean, I think that's what happened, but yes.
Yes, apparently that turned it tiny.
Yeah.
Like, stupidly tiny.
I like it. It allows me to keep my character sheet up, so I don't have to keep the journal open when I'm playing. I don't use it so much as a DM.
Huh. Why do I have a big empty border now?
That I don't know. Did you try resizing it?
I think so.
Yeah, if you resize it while it's that tiny box, then that resizing carries forward.
Yes, it does. How can I how can I undo this?
That's really annoying.
Yep.
Close. Oh no, that sort of fixed it. Close it and reopen it, and then you can resize it again, and it's not weird.
Ah, yes. I see. Okay. Yep, that fixed it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That was really annoying and weird. I'll come at another point of processing to personality switch over.
And you've already committed processing for the hyper acuity.
I'm tracking it.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I mean it's still the same scene, so you don't have to.
It's still the same scene. It's still the same scene, and it's still the same row, and it's still the same check. So, so yeah, I'm just switching personality for an additional bonus. And this one.
That is pretty good.
That is some good. That is some good liberating.
Yeah, no shit.
Lip reading.
One of those wasn't sure if I could actually do it, so let's find out.
Being a person that can't read lips, I don't actually have a scale for how specific lip reading can actually get.
I have no idea. No, I have no idea either. But assuming
Can
that considering that he's being eerily
Oh.
computer competent, that
Yeah, true.
could
There was
probably
a deaf
push it.
person who watched old war film be redone and managed to make out every single word the soldiers.
Okay.
And that's on old war film, to put it into context.
That's a good example. I think it's not perfect because movies, especially older movies, I feel like enunciated better, and she's kind of doing this under her breath.
Oh no, not like in real movie, like war footage.
Oh,
yeah, it was war footage.
That's a great example then.
Soldiers.
Okay. And as Mel points out, he has literally computing software that is calculating this.
Yes, and predicting likely results. And
so he reads the name Audrey Mercure.
Now the other thing, Mike, is if your futuristic space society has a language that is better than English, so that it doesn't have lots of stupid mouth motions that like T and D, that somebody that's reading lips would have a real hard time telling which you said, and your brain even has a hard time telling which is said when you close your eyes and stuff like that. So if you have a real actual good language that they're speaking,
no,
it should be a
still
lot
language.
easier.
So it could be Audrey Mercure.
I suppose there must be, again, not knowing lip reading, but yes, there must be certain letters and sounds that are complicated.
Yeah.
Yes,
but
English is stupid.
Audrey is a much more common name than Autry.
Yes.
Except in the Old West.
Oh, really? Whoops.
Gene Autry.
Oh, well.
That's a last name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I didn't promise all the jokes would be funny.
You mean some of them are?
Hey.
Sorry.
No, see, that was funny.
I know, but I'm not normally that mean. Sometimes, but
Sure,
not
let's
normal.
go with that.
Hush you.
I was about to ask. So does Nemo actually notice that process happening?
He does. Going back. Yeah, he does, and he is. I was hoping that I'd actually written out the message, but I didn't, and I need to keep my stuff all in one place because going to PMs with you and then over to the in-chat PMs with you is just weird. Let me type out the message because he does notice it, and he does know what it says.
Okay. But not where it goes out to.
Nope.
Meantime, Nemo will sub-vocalize to Dude. I believe we have found the right location. A young girl close enough to match my description to unnerve the staff by the name of Audrey Mercure.
Well, that's
AFK for a few moments, I can still hear you.
encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
Also, apparently I've been looking for her. Curious.
Wait, what?
Audrey Mercure, does that name mean something to you? Other than a likely alias used by Colleen?
Dude wasn't present for any of the
No, only Cap knows the Audrey Mercure name.
yeah, and the whole sister story and all that shit.
Mhm.
Nah, man.
Curious. It means something to me, but I don't know what.
Wait, like tickled a part of your brain, kind of no?
Activated subroutines that I didn't know that I wasn't aware of. Kind of know.
Oh shit. Well, I mean, I'd be really disappointed if you turned into a murder machine and tried to kill me. But I mean,
However,
we got to work with what we got to work with.
For
Yeah.
your
She does
character,
she does not appear to be present here any longer, though. She may have already left. Have you had any luck at all contacting her?
Nah, man, I keep sending messages every now and then. I just get nothing.
Nemo will turn back to look, Miss. It is vitally important that we locate Miss McCurr as quickly as possible, and I assure you that any cooperation you can give us would be greatly appreciated by very, very powerful and influential people, and your name or the name of your business will in no way, shape, or form be involved in any of this.
she actually
We just need
cuts
to
you
know
off.
we just need to
She
know when she
interrupts you.
left.
Shortly after the mention Audrey Mercure, actually at the mention of the name Audrey Mercure, because she doesn't think that she said it loud enough for him to have heard it.
Right.
She looks up, startled, and with your notice check there and your hyper acuity, Nemo sees a kind of recognition as if he is an authorized entity, like
Hooray.
somebody who actually has authority and with that authority power to be involved in any search for Audrey Mercure. And if there's a search for this Audrey Mercure, that all goes through her face, and she seconds after that, before Nemo can even finish telling her how vitally important it is, she says she already left.
Yay for assumed authority.
Mm-hmm.
Act like you belong.
Yes. When did she? How long ago did she leave? And do you know where she went?
About 10 minutes ago, she took a ride to
Would they even know?
yeah.
Nope. They only ordered the ride. They did not know the destination.
Okay. She says that she took a ride in cab number 11345889.
Okay. Is there any way to locate that cab specifically?
You'd have to contact that company.
Right. Okay, well, thank you for your assistance. It has been invaluable. We can get this sorted out very soon. And Nemo will quickly leave before any more questions are asked, or before someone remembers that he didn't produce any actual insignia or identification.
All right.
Well, we know she was here. She left about 10 minutes ago, and she left in a cab. So she is awake. So she is awake and conscious, but not deliberately not answering.
Dude tries to actually make a voice call to Colleen.
Colleen, you are at the specified location. Just finished your transaction.
Okay.
You're receiving
if it's
a
all
voice
done,
call.
she'll take the call. And by taking the call, she's just opening the communication line.
But you can tell that happens on the other end, right?
Yeah.
Yes, she picks up,
Uh-huh.
doesn't say a word.
Kid, where the fuck you at?
I'm in town.
Yeah, that's not helpful. Have you read any of the messages?
Yeah, I've read them all.
Okay. So you know the Derringer's in town, and you know we need to get the fuck out.
Bit late for that.
We're working on that. I would say that a brief heads up of, hey, I'm still alive, I know what's going on, would have been appreciated.
Yeah, but then you were also not supposed to be here.
We wasn't gonna leave you behind.
Your
Is
point
is
being?
the Mistral still within Nemo's communication range?
Yes,
I
actually,
lost
just
track
barely.
of timelines.
Yeah, no. When I jump back to Hugo and Cap, the Mistral will be out of communication of Lamira.
Okay, well, Nemo will quickly sub-vocalize to Cap. Have have located Colleen. Have established contact with Colleen. Appears to uncooperative.
Oh.
You wasn't responding, kid, and we needed to make sure that we weren't all gonna get arrested again. So it was either leave you behind or come try and find you, not knowing where you was.
Well, there were other options.
Really?
Yeah, and Cap said she wouldn't tell what I was about to do. Obviously, that did not happen.
Other concerns trumped that particular commitment.
Well, obviously I had other concerns as well. And she closes the link.
She still has the tracker turned off.
Oh yeah.
Well,
You can't help stupid, it's okay.
no, dude kind of looks at Nemo. Oh, man.
There we go. Just typed out the exact message Nemo is sending to Cap. That seemed unsuccessful.
Oh, yeah. She's got a bug in her bonnet for something. She ain't happy we know where she is, but... Or, well,
We don't know where she is.
I mean, like,
That would be the problem.
She ain't happy we know what the hell she was doing out here. I think her, I'm pissed off and angry at people for knowing my business is affecting the conversation.
That behavior is highly unlikely. Illogical, rather.
I was going to say.
And counterproductive.
All right, yeah.
I've informed the captain that we've established contact with her, but have been unsuccessful in procuring her so far. She is still within the outermost limits of my communication range, which I believe indicates that she is taking the ship out of the system.
Real quick, Emma, are you here?
She said she left, but she could still hear us.
She can hear, but
That's
not
right. I was looking for some kind of
I'm gonna be a couple minutes.
in text. Okay. Emma, before you unminutes, do you want to be involved in this conversation? Shall I pause the game for a minute?
Can you do that, please?
Yes, I can.
Yep.
Thank you.
We'll take
We'll pause.
a quick 5-10 minute break?
Mm.
Sure. I'll grab something to drink. And I just, at this point now, realize that typing out a message to Cap is supremely unhelpful if Emma is not at her computer for days.
Put the scene back on. And we're back. So Nemo has just sub-vocalized to Cap. Established contact with Colleen. Uncooperative. And does Audrey Mercure mean anything to you?
Also, still don't know where she is.
Well, yes. But Emma can read.
Dude looks over at Nemo after that conversation. Well, she's on the move and she's awake now, so we trying to track her down is just gonna, be a goose chase at this point.
On the move where?
Well, that's the problem. She's capable of going her own places. She can come back to us. What we got to do is find a place to be, and then
She is actively resisting rescue.
like I said, she's pissed. Probably not thinking straight because of that. So she's, what's the, cutting off your own nose to spite your face? For us.
That sounds sufficiently illogical to be the case, yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, we got to find a place to hunker down. Cap's going to be, well, she's making a run for it, apparently. So we got to find a place to be where both, well, Little Miss Fussy Britches can find us.
And where anyone affiliated with the Derringer or the Mandate preferably can't find us, and where we'll be able to stay for at least 5 days.
Could be.
I don't remember what's the nearest, the nearest jump out from. What is literally the closest, the fastest return time that the Mistral could make?
48 divided by 3 for the travel to the edge of the system, 16 hours. Double that, so 32 hours.
32 hours.
And then I believe a jump to the nearest star, which they're all 2 hexes away, is 2 days for Hugo. So then another 4 days.
That's 4 days. So that's 4 days and 36 hours. That's 5.5 days.
I can't remember. I'm brain farting. Does a single jump still only consume 1 unit of fuel?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Not based on hexes? Cool.
Yep. Because we didn't refuel when we came into the system.
So best case scenario, 5.5 days.
Yeah.
Suggestions?
Well, if we're going to be hanging out here, and we're trying not to be found, we're going to have to, Did we officially check out of the place that we had gotten in any way, shape, or form?
No, we just ran away. We told the housekeeper to take the rest of the day off, and then we ran away.
Let me interrupt you guys. Emma, does Cap respond to the sub-vocalized message she receives?
Okay.
You can break in on the conversation if you wanted to speak it.
So-
Yeah, Cap will send a message back saying,
Hold on, receiving a message.
That's who Colleen might be. I'm not entirely sure.
Kelsop vocalized back. Curious. I was apparently looking for her and not being aware of it.
You were looking for her before?
Upon coming in contact with the name, it activated previously unknown subroutines in my system and dispatched a message
What was the message?
that Audrey Mercure has been located.
This is all subvocal, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and via text.
Yep, to Cap. So he's just standing there staring into space to dude.
Derringer is in pursuit. Don't know when we'll be back.
Right. I've calculated with, in best case scenario, 5.5 days.
Might be longer.
Could be longer. Yes, we will try to find a place to lay low and wait for your return.
That's if they let us back in the system. We'll do what we can. Almost out of range.
Yes. We will. I'll try to keep things safe here.
Thank you. Good luck.
And then Nemo will switch back to vocal communication with Dude. Captain is taking
Cap's message will be take care of each other.
the captain is taking the ship out of the system now. The Derringer's in pursuit.
All right. Well, we didn't leave any of our stuff at that place, did we? Did we have enough time to pack up our shit?
I don't think we brought much stuff.
You didn't bring much stuff, but you did buy a bit of stuff.
Yeah.
So the fiddly bits of Dude's guitar. You did have time to pack up your stuff.
Okay.
Because you had at least the 2 hours between when when Tom sent the first message, hey, Derringer's coming, and when Nemo said they're looking for assistance in searching the Halo.
Gotcha. Okay. So we definitely would have been packing up with anticipation of getting the fuck out of Dodge.
Right.
And the housekeeper still has a day off.
Yes.
Well, she's got the rest of the days off.
Let's keep it the rest of the day off, and then we ran away. So, but yes, obviously we can't return there.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, I wanted to make sure we didn't. Well,
ideally, I would like to find a place even further away that is less upscale.
Yeah, sounds about right to me. We might need to make our budget stretch.
Oh, well, exactly. There's also a concern of our operating budgets.
Well,
Cap would have left them enough money to survive on for at least a month.
All right.
We should probably relay the information to Colleen that that we're stuck here for at least 5.5 days, and that if she would deign to hide out with us, she would be welcome to do so.
Dude looks at Nemo's. Well, I'll tell her when she asks.
Nemo will actually smile at that.
In the meantime, Dude puts his hand on Nemo's shoulder. I think it's time you and me got some new names, man. And I'm finally going to use...
Wow!
I know. The one I even have at level 2.
Yeah.
Of course, this is why I can do this, is because I have it at level 2 now.
Uh-huh.
Before, it was just good for getting free rides.
All
and
right.
speaking basic languages and shit. Except you made them all speak the same language, so...
Ish.
Galactic Common.
Mm-hmm. All right.
What is Dude doing?
Dude is going to forge, scrounge, or snag. This place doesn't work on travel papers.
No, when they say papers, they're just looking for identification.
Yeah, I kind of figured. Well, I mean, I'm sure there are authoritarian systems that travel papers are probably a thing, but
Right. So what dude would be looking for would be some kind of ID that can be presented when you're stopped and asked who you are.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't believe there is any role associated with that. It's just a benefit you get from that focus.
Yep. The only roll is for how long it takes me.
Okay. So there's a roll. My mistake. So let's go ahead and roll
It
that.
takes me 6 fucking hours.
Oh, is it 1d6 hours just flat?
Yep. 1d6 hours of work.
That actually makes sense in this place, because the IDs are specific to the city, and House Charon is probably one of the more difficult cities to get this identification for, because they're roboticized.
Right. Now, we could also justify that as the travel time to get the fuck out of House Charon to get to one of the less upscale places,
yes,
and then
to a
this.
seedier place.
Well, so that's a choice that you have to make, because the travel time to get out of House Charon is 6 hours. The 6 that you rolled would be the time that you spend in whatever location you're in. You could go to a different city.
What do we know anything about any of the other cities?
Yes, do we?
You know as much as the DM knows, because the DM didn't drill into hyper detail on the planet to detail out all the cities.
The DM didn't anticipate that we'd be hanging out here.
Well, no, that it was always an option, but it's with, and this is one of my not issues, but one of the just a thing about a space campaign is when players can just say, nah, we don't like this planet, and hop off, go somewhere else.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't get into the nitty-gritty details until you need to.
Oh yeah,
So you tell me
players
what
walk
kind
into a town and you don't know that every bar is this and all these places are
Yeah.
this until they decide, hey, we're gonna stay in town. All right, cool. Now I got to start populating this place.
This is being procedurally generated.
Woohoo!
So
Is this No Man's Sky version 1 procedurally generated or No Man's Sky current version procedurally generated?
It can't be No Man's Sky. We can see each other.
Well, that would be current version. They actually have
Okay.
explicit multiplayer now.
that is a after game conversation,
yeah.
because that is a potentially long conversation.
Yes.
Um,
Um,
And I was just making a mean-spirited joke.
what kind of city would you like to be in?
A shitty one.
shitty city.
Does not exist on Lamiera.
Yes,
Every
but by
place is
Lamiera
nice.
standard. By Lamiera standards.
By Lamiera standards, you're probably in it. The robotics and cybernetics is the most industrial of the Lamiera cities. They don't have a true industrial city, because industry is for people that have to make things. Lamiera is a huge trade hub. They
I was
don't
gonna say-
need to make things.
Woof.
They do, but they're the more specific things, like the cybernetics that you get in here, the advanced computing tech.
How the hell did this place survive post Scream?
It's the place that makes things out of things other people have made.
Yeah, boy, they must have dragged themselves up out of the mud, because if I remember correctly in the fiction, there were a lot of planets that had been relying on constant trade because they didn't produce everything they needed, and they just fucking died.
That applies
When the Scream
much
happened.
more to necessities, food.
Oh yeah.
Lamiera has all the water that any of the citizens could need, and they do have their own farms. but they're outside the cities.
I'm back.
All right. Well,
Yeah, that is an option for you if you want to try and find one of the cities that has a more robust external farming culture.
There'd probably
so,
be
dude in the country.
Yes, there'd probably be fewer people to hide amongst there, so that's probably not the best idea.
Well, that's the classic country town cliche. Everybody knows everybody.
I will add in argument for House Charon, not just because it's one of the 2 cities I've detailed. It's also not a bad place because where House LaRue had the Larrys literally walking around and on their hover bikes asking for ID, House Charon has robots doing that, which are much worse at determining, hey, this guy seems shifty.
Right. If the ID checks out, they go, "Thank you, sir. Have a nice day."
Exactly.
All right. Yeah.
Right. Well, in that case, we'll probably stay here and let you do the legwork.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, dude. I assume lets Nemo know what he's doing and how he can assist and what all needs to be done.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. And Nemo will certainly assist in any way he can. Fascinated by the experience, he'll also let dude pick his name.
It is going to actually require dude to do some of the robotic work himself. It's very, very micro fine detail.
Mm-hmm.
So part of this 6 hours is him finding a shop where he can basically rent a desk and doesn't ask, hey, do you have your ID with you? And then getting in and trying to figure out how to work under the microscopes, possibly even using robotic aids to make your robotic IDs. So that rolling a 6 is the perfect result there. A 1 would have meant you simply found something with a name already on it.
Well, you know what? Handmade is the best made.
you did find some or something to work off of, or steal something.
I was going to
say
he'd need an example. Absolutely.
Oh yeah. All right. Let's jump over to Cap and Hugo. Been a while since we checked in with our fleeing felons. What's the atmosphere on the ship right now?
Breathable, one would hope.
Yeah, tense.
Almost to the point of thick, breathable with a pressure mask?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Can we get the larger map?
Yeah.
Because we got to figure out where we're going, because we got to get fuel.
Mm-hmm. Does anybody
that whole not refueling when we dropped in is a real problem.
There was no place to refuel.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, there was. We just never bothered.
I think we figured we'd be here longer.
Yes.
Is anybody hearing music?
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm still hearing the music.
Mm-hmm.
And it just hit the crescendo.
I have no music. Let me... No,
well,
I have music on.
Don't worry, I'm going to change the map, and that should...
Kick the music change?
Yeah.
Yep.
No, there goes
the music stopped, but...
Yes.
Okay.
I have no music.
Chrome seems to think there's something playing, so it's probably the spooky space music.
No, I actually, for...
Orbital platform?
Yep, I gave you guys more than just spooky space music for when you're looking at the sector map.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I hear
I
it
have...
now.
Okay. I can hear something.
Yep, I have it.
I have nothing.
It is
really
horrible.
light.
It is very faint. It's not supposed to be
Yep, it's
all that
there.
loud. Cool.
I have it turned all the way up and I've got nothing.
Huh.
Try
Do you have-
reloading.
Do you have the
Yeah.
the browser icon for the music playing?
Are you using Chrome or?
Chrome.
Yeah, your tab should have a little speaker icon on it if it's playing.
Yeah, just make sure
Well, then
haven't
it is not
muted it.
playing.
All right, hang on, Emma. Let me. I'm stopping that music.
And the little speaker icon went away.
Do you hear that?
Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So the music is present. You won't hear anything from this for a little while. So
I hear it now.
It's real faint, so yeah, Emma
Yeah.
might not be able to.
it is very faint. I can turn this one up. I think I listened through to see where the high notes were and turned it down based on that.
All right. So where can we go? Where do we know has fuel?
Well, I have gotten all of those mapped out for you. So let me just I'll make this easy for you. Bam.
So, hey, we could finally establish what un is like.
You could, yes.
Aren't they hostile?
No.
They forbid starships of cruiser class that have more than 2 weapons mounted.
Oh yeah, there is that.
We talked about that we might be able to argue that, well, we've only got 1 functional.
But they don't know we can't
Well,
send anything
but-
online.
Doesn't say functional, it says mounted.
Yeah, and we got like 6, so, and a giant main cannon too. Does that have a visible like exit port on the ship? That monster hyperspatial doohickey?
Yes.
Yeah, we probably. Jesus Christ, we must look like the most frightening goddamn ship for visual range. All these massive turrets and this gigantic gun port.
Cannon.
Yeah.
Well, we're kind of the boogeyman of the sector, if you
Yeah, I
remember
get
the
that.
panic messages people are writing.
So yeah, probably not un.
Don't want to go into bro space?
So we could go back to Pana and then hide in one of the gas giants.
You still have to pull in some more for fuel.
Oh, no refueling stations or other solar satellites.
uh,
Oh, no, it's Astos. We've been there.
yeah. Do I still have no? Yeah. I need to change that
'Cause
because
we've
I
been
realized
there.
that was bad. Yeah. You were able to get refueled at Space Dogs. The screen is not big enough for all the things I need to put on it.
But it's literally just where we came from.
Mhm.
Yep.
And they may have people there waiting for us. In fact, that's where they came from.
Well, it did answer the question of which mandate ship was inbound. Now we know.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry viewers, I literally can't get all of these on the screen and visible. Okay. Alright. The Derringer is continuing to fall behind. and you could you are in a pursuit. So if you wanted to test my additional pursuit rules or experimental pursuit rules, you could push the ship. But at this point, it doesn't truly seem necessary. They've made some fairly critical calculation errors, which Hugo, in monitoring where they are in relative in position to you or relative to you, can see exactly where they made some errors, which they're not going to be able to recover from.
So does Ara Biolas have a place to refuel?
Let me look at.
Because it doesn't say.
It doesn't say. Let me look at my more detailed notes.
I think we would know, would we?
Most of these places will tell you they don't want ships coming in and not being able to leave. Yeah. Yes, they do. There you go. Oh no, that is a different font.
Heavens to Murgatroyd.
There you go.
So it seems like Biola's
Mhm.
might be a good place to go. It's independent space.
That's where you want to go. I can take you there.
We've got to get someplace where we can get fuel and not draw a lot of attention.
In which case, there we go.
Because at least at this point is not an option.
Not so friendly to folks with weapons.
Corafali is also out. Is that the one where we've been?
You haven't been there, but
There's a lot of galactic mandate there, and I'd rather not. Yeah, that kind of leaves going back to Pana, or Does Cap think that using Vig to hide would be a possibility?
the distinction that I've had to kind of retcon in because of my oops with that ship going to Ecos is that planets with a thick atmosphere, which includes almost all gas giants, can be hidden in. Ships can hide in that atmosphere, so a breathable mix isn't sufficient in most cases.
All right, so the electromagnetic storm.
Oh, those things, yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I was thinking Vig, the planet itself. The Thenius, the gas giant, as well as the electromagnetic storm are fine. However, and this is where having put these up as additional handouts is going to come in real handy. Electromagnetic storms come with their own issues.
Risks.
And the skill to get into them is program.
Oh, which we don't have.
Really?
Well, we don't have right now.
No, I mean it.
In keeping with rules as written, I made most of the checks program checks because it's in rules as written, it is only a program check that can hide you or avoid detection. So
And I can still attempt it. I've still got a reroll.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go for Arabiola's. We can go there first.
There's your semi-creepy space music.
Which I still can't hear.
Okay. That's interesting.
Okay, then. Okay. I have 2 knobs on my headset.
Oh, you've got the same.
I guess one of them's for, like,
Yes, we all have the same.
background sound or something, maybe, I don't know.
No, it mixes or splits the channels between voice audio and computer sound audio. So, for instance, if you're wanting to watch a YouTube video while your friends are busy chattering away on Skype, you can fade them out. Vice versa, if the game is getting too loud that you're playing, you can fade it out.
Of course, then I couldn't hear you. Sorry, what were you saying?
You have just proven what I said. I don't need to repeat it.
Okay, so I was hearing the music, and I'm like, nobody's saying anything, and I saw your little thing lighting up in Discord.
No, I was basically saying that it's a fader that lets you fade out either voice chat or other computer sounds.
Ah.
You should be able. There should be an indentation somewhere in the middle that just leaves everything at its natural volume.
There we go. I think I found it.
Yeah, my headset has a little notch that it rests in.
I think we have the same headset or close to.
No, you have the same one.
I think so because I remember talking about it. The Steel series.
The 7.
Yeah.
Yep.
Steel series Arctic, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because my old headset sucked.
Hooray, headset buddies!
Hey,
It's
I
a
have the
very
same
nice
headset.
headset.
It is. It actually is. But I'm not getting paid to promote it, so.
Yet.
Yeah, yet.
Our following isn't that big.
Let's see, how many people are watching us right now? 4, and I think 3 of them are us. Hi, Ash. Thanks for watching us.
You'd be surprised. There's some small channels that get minor sponsorships for just like, gear and shit.
Yeah, but they're also probably playing shooty games and killing people.
Sometimes.
So
Anyway.
it sounds like you have given some consideration and decided on
Because hopefully they wouldn't expect us to go there.
Now remember, they will not be able to trace where you jump to.
No, they'll have to guess.
They'll have to guess. And with March being surrounded by 5 other systems, with more, if you were able to do a jump of 3 hexes, with more even farther out, they would have to be seated in one of those regions, one of those entry regions, to intercept you upon return. Coming from Corafali to March will always put you in the same entry region. Coming from Un to March will always put you in that specific entry region. So they could make a 20% chance guess and try to be in the region that you would arrive in.
But it's a 20% chance.
Mm-hmm. And once you guys get your spike drive up higher, you can start coming from Panjati, Varul, Holau, Haistro, and those are all also their own separate regions of space as an entry point. So as your spike drive rating increases, the number of entry regions that people would have to guess at gets even higher.
Way up.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's already kind of a unfeasible risk at 20% chance. Unless they think they can guess where you're going to come in from.
It's well then we can just jump out again, can't we?
Okay,
Well,
I'm sorry, I
fun
didn't hear that.
Question.
Well, you said you could just jump back out again, but
Yeah, it would take the one round. When you enter the region, it's easy to get into combat range quickly enough that they would get one round before you could jump out.
Mm-hmm.
And that would potentially destroy us.
I feel like Nick is
Well,
overstating the risk a little bit. You do have armor, and it's not like you're made of 1 hit point. So even if they can penetrate your armor, that's still 3d8 and
Well,
average.
you rolled well last time, but we were to the point where another hit would have taken us out.
Yeah, I think I did roll well last time, and another good roll, but average, statistically speaking, you guys could probably survive a full volley from them.
problem is probably be out of fuel by then.
Well, fun fact, they might be out of fuel too. We don't know if they have extended fuel capabilities, because they jumped in.
Right.
They didn't refuel yet, so depending on what they have, they might not even have fuel to jump.
I'm going to
And if they
presume they
do?
have a fuel tank.
Well,
Most big ships would
that-
probably have a fuel tank just in case.
What's
Maybe,
I
maybe
don't
not.
remember what the average ship fuel capacity is.
1.
Well, that's what it starts with, but then obviously you can buy another one, so that way you can jump in, and then if shit goes wrong, jump out, which would be very useful for a Derringer, especially if it's chasing ships, then it can jump with them.
But they really can't.
No, but I mean, if they see us jumping, then they can just try and guess where we're jumping to
Right.
try and follow. But anyway, that's yeah, whatever.
All right.
Still lots of inherent risks.
So you guys are the Raza is outside of communication range with Dude, Nemo, and Colleen. You guys are set on your course to the edge of the system. Hugo trimmed the course so that 48-hour journey is going to take 16. And wait, the halftime is only for spike drills, right?
Only for spike drills.
Okay. So yes, it'll take 16 hours. You've already been going for about 1 or 2 hours at this point. 2 hours because it only took half an hour to get the cargo lighter up there. So with the Derringer falling farther and farther behind, after about 4 hours, you see that it breaks off pursuit.
What?
You're 10 hours away from the edge of the system, and it is returning back to March. And I would say that at this point you're also too far away to have anything more than a long-form text conversation or, voicemail conversation with them. Sorry, let me step back just a second. You're not out of communication range with the rest of your crew. You're out of instant communication range, meaning you can't actually have a conversation, but you could
That's
send
substantial.
messages.
Right, there
I
would be
can
2
send
months
a
delay.
message. I can send a message. Derringer turned back towards planet.
And we'd probably get it, depending on the size of the system, 20, 30 minutes later.
Yeah, and what's quick aside, what's funny is one of the people in the Stars Without Number Discord did some math and came to the conclusion that traveling from one region to another in this system actually gives ships faster than light capability.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Is that wrong?
oops, it is because even the system's writer is trying not to do faster than light.
Right.
Every show that even tries to do hard sci-fi
yeah.
always seems to forget how fucking huge space is.
I don't know if it's a matter of forgetting or kind of bending so that you're not. I don't want to run you guys traveling for 84 hours just to get to the edge of the system where you can jump.
Yep. And
So
the Expanse is still best about that.
I think that was a narrative decision for that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, from the Earth to the Moon and back, it's still like 4 seconds at light speed, and that's just to the Moon.
Yeah. All right. Let's go back to.
So.
Oh, go ahead.
Hold on. Question for DM.
Uh-huh.
Is it possible for us to kind of hang out at the edge of the system and avoid detection?
Not avoid detection. There's a very, very specific feature that's only available in, at my initial glance, 2 systems. I didn't actually write it in because I don't have access to this visible map while I'm on the train, but I've written them down now so that I know which they are. And that's a Parker Haven, which is surrounds Sos and Kuti Tuhirti. That's the only feature, hideable feature, that is typically or can be really present at the edge of the system like this. With the exception of some that specifically say it goes to the edge of the system. Sorry.
It's okay. Alright, so... we still need fuel.
I mean,
getting us back would still only give us 1. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay.
do you want me to jump now, or we're just going to wait?
We're get to the edge of the system.
Okay.
Yeah, hold off on actually making decisions as if you're at the edge of the system, because you guys have got some 10 hours left, and you can still track the Derringer, you can still see what the Derringer is doing.
And they can see us, right?
And they can see you.
But
right.
if they start to come back at us again and we're at the edge of the system, boom, we're gone.
Mm-hmm.
But
Back
they could also send people in. Yeah, anyway,
in.
like after us.
Oh yeah.
Nemo will send a message back. Captain, if they observe you staying in the system, that would likely lead them to believe that you have indeed left people on the ground.
And we'll leave Captain's response to that. Please type that one out so it's not forgotten.
Yep.
We'll leave Captain's response to that to when she actually receives that message.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go back over to Colleen. It's been a little while since she's had that spotlight. Colleen has just disconnected that call with Dude.
Well, seeing that she's done everything here that she wanted to, she's gonna call, well, cab, transformer, whatever's nearest, and get on the flight back, well, to the mansion.
Okay. She still has
We rented it for a month.
Oh yeah.
she still has the cab that was called for her, or she can still have it if she wanted to continue using it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't much time consuming, so yes, since that was the plan all along,
Okay.
to get back there.
So she starts heading back over to the spaceport. Well, the local port. Guess it would just be an airport, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Suborbital port. Well,
Yeah.
it might be a small spaceport, but mostly suborbital.
Yeah, it would be. And I'll leave it there so that we don't get too much farther than Dude and Nemo. Dude and Nemo have just been hung up on. Well, Dude was. You had that conversation with Cap, and I believe that's where I left you guys. And Dude and Nemo.
Oh, sorry. I forgot I hadn't unmuted myself. You didn't leave us. I then rolled for the hours it was going to take to create ID and shit like that.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what we were working on.
Thank you.
Follow
We
going
can
to
certainly have conversations while that is ongoing, and
Yes.
yeah, honestly, I'm not going to RP it all out, but Dude
Nah.
pretty much would just kind of gripe about Colleen in a grumbly, cranky kind of way the entire time that he's going through the process of getting IDs and all that kind of stuff.
You mean like Nemo is doing there in chat also?
Yes. Yes, Nemo is throwing shade on Colleen.
Okay, so since you know what, I did forget about that for a minute.
Yeah, we're tied up for the next 6 hours.
Yeah, you guys are good.
Nemo is lamenting that he didn't start a new phase and body project sooner.
All right. Colleen arrives at the suborbital port, the SOP, and can quite easily book a not so quick 6-hour flight back. She'll have to pay if she wants faster service. But if she just wants to kind of get on a plane with a bunch of other people and fly back.
Yep, business as usual.
Okay. All right, now you've both spent 6 hours doing something. What are you doing? That actually worked out fairly conveniently. What do Dude and Nemo do once they've gotten their house Charon identification? Point of note: it is not only good at House Charon. It is simply a House Charon identification, which would identify you as a resident of House Charon in any other city.
Right, but I believe we'll set out look for a suitable and unobtrusive place to go to ground here in House Charon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that
somewhere we can hide and stay under the radar for at least a week.
Is that covered under any foci that either of you have? If not, that would actually be a really good focus. That's a neat focus idea. I'm writing it down. Is it?
Not by Nemo's, except being good at talking, but...
And I don't think that's included in Wanderer.
No, I almost took the, what was it? The one that was more specific to contact. To connect.
It's almost like the opposite of Wanderer, in fact.
Yeah, the one that would allow me to connect with people and whatnot. I almost took that instead of taking Wanderer 2, but I didn't. I've got Connect +1.
So and Nemo's got hyper acuity, so...
We've got at least rollable skills that we could use to do something. We just don't have focuses that are really designed for this.
Trying to see if you had anything that had specific mechanical effects for it. So it is a connect check that you're trying to do. This isn't talk or lead or anything. This is connect.
Yeah. Connect charisma?
It would be connect charisma by default. If you wanted to try and make it connect int, it would be a more focused effort on simply finding a place. It might just be a place where you can set up a makeshift, where you could basically become a hobo.
I like connect charisma personally.
Okay.
Would hyper acuity be useful since we are dealing with people?
Yes.
If he's going to roll connect charisma, can I roll an assist connect?
You could roll an assist connect. How do you help him?
Well, basically, like you said, with the connect int, trying to be more specific and more just to be more specific and explicit in the kind of place that we're hoping to get, just to eliminate confusion in the conversations and whatnot.
Okay. I'll help you out a little bit. It sounds like you're wanting to use int here.
Yeah.
Okay.
My charisma's at a 0 and my int's at a 1. If I can.
There's another 1 there, so I'll reroll that.
Okay. The int component in assisting Nemo would be more about trying to improve the quality of the place that you're finding.
That works for me too.
Quality as far as ease of access or how easy it is to hide in it, etc.
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes it a 10 before any modifiers from Dude is added.
Okay, let's see if Dude helps or hinders. That is a help. So you end up with an 11.
Yep.
And with that high of a roll, you are able to find a fairly discrete central area, or central location. It's a hostel kind of place, but it's like it's a themed hostel. It is for young and aspiring inventors who are trying to get their head around robotics work. Dude's contribution here is that he can spend a little bit of time offering
Mentoring?
some mentorship. If
It's an incubator.
if that's out of character for a dude, I'm not saying that dude offers that. I'm saying that dude's basically how he's approaching and talking gives the person that Nemo is talking to the idea that he can do that. So you can say no and take a different place, but this is an option for you.
No, that works perfectly fine for dude.
Okay. All right. You are given accommodations. It is a good short distance, 20-minute walk or 5-minute drive to many of the major features of the city, including the market, the suborbital port. It's a little bit farther to the actual spaceport, but not so significant.
Worst case scenario, Nemo can rip off his face and pretend to be someone's project.
Yes, an actual android to work on would be highly valuable.
How much damage would that actually do?
Well, it would do system strain until he could properly repair and get himself a new face.
Right.
As far as hit point damage, I think I would roll a d8 per point of system strain that the face is supposed to occupy, which I think is only supposed to be, yeah, it was 1 per thing, so
Right.
a d8 damage. Enough.
Imagine they
He's not really planning
rip
on
his
doing
face
that.
off. I was gonna say, they rip his face off and then Nemo goes, my turn.
He could also do it more surgically precisely, and just take the system strain with a save for no damage. So the system strain is guaranteed, and if he does it more surgically, I'm overcomplicating it. If he wants to do it more surgically with a heal check, he can avoid the physical damage completely.
Right. But not something that's planned right now. He likes his face as it is right now.
Okay. So that takes them a bit more time because you were having to go through some of the administrative process, but you've got yourself a place that is good, and your day is over. Colleen?
I will say that when they are finally, all right, we're all settled in, we got our stuff, we've got a place and whatnot, dude will have, at the very end of that process, sent a message to Colleen of, we're staying here, we're staying low, here's the names we're under, here's the place.
Okay. Colleen receives that while she is in flight.
6 hours later?
Well, that's right. She was on a 6-hour flight while you were on a 6-hour ID check.
Forging spree.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, Colleen is she going directly back to the manor? Or to the estate?
Only briefly to check that everything's still there,
Okay.
and then she has a plan.
Okay, so let's proceed with her plan before she gets that message. She gets to the estate, everything is still there.
She checks briefly on where Dude and Nemo are.
Because she knows.
Yes, she does, because of the tracking things that they have not deactivated.
They're still in the same city that she just left.
The advantage is to writing that stuff yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but she had similar ideas. She heads out to the tech market she was at before. However, this time not to buy, but since she was chatting and connecting with people before, she is actually hoping for a hint of companies, data companies that might be hiring in the area. Because the vendors probably know people. So, yes, Colleen is going to look for a job.
Okay. She does find. Well, let's tie this to a connect roll, because that's what those skills are for. Are you okay with me moving the map back to Barch?
Yeah, I just wanted
That
to
works.
see what our options were.
Okay. And you've already
And-
decided
and-
on one, so you don't need to look at it again?
We don't need to have it. Nope, we're good.
Alrighty. Mark just
Seeing how
breathe.
this is a professional thing, are you fine with InConnect, or would you rather like Charisma Connect?
Because she doesn't have any degrees or papers basically proving that she can do this kind of work, InConnect is not going to get her a whole lot of anything. So, Charisma Connect for this. She does quite fine with that. Are you going to re-roll it?
Nah.
Okay. Just had to check. She does find some less prestigious shops that basically just need somebody who's code savvy for data entry.
Well, she was more looking for local companies. She just figured the vendors there probably know, hey, there's this company or that company. And
Yeah.
I know the guy who always buys my crap.
No, that's what I mean. Local, not so much companies, but shops, and it's not just one. The companies are all looking for actual proof of education, and that's why she's only finding essentially entry level, which they still want proof of education, but she, if she does pursue it, she can prove to them that she knows her stuff without actually having the paperwork to show it.
That works. Yeah, she would do that and find out what does it take to basically get licensed on this fucking planet.
Okay. That is a bit of research that she can do later. She receives the message from Dude telling her that they've, well, Matt, what'd you say?
Hang on, typing out something real quick.
Okay.
Great message.
Yeah.
Nick, you
Great
probably remember
references,
it well
bro.
enough, though.
Your references are off the hook.
It was simply telling Colleen where they're staying and that they're laying low.
Yep.
I'm going to leave you two to your written conversation and continue on with Colleen for a minute.
Go for it.
Colleen's day is over. Just like Dude and Nemo. Pretty much everyone's day is over. Cap and Hugo have just a few more hours to the edge of the system. And Colleen, if she wants to know what it takes to basically get paperwork, get credited, get proven, unfortunately, as clean and prestigious as Lamiera is, makes shortcutting any of that process much more difficult. She can't find any kind of shortcuts. She can't find any reference to take this test and you will get your degree. She can find scam alerts where people have tried to pause it as a scam. That exact concept. Take this course. Take this 1-hour course. Professors will be amazed. But she can't actually find those scams either. They show up only in those archive results with that little bit of context that she found for Zoe LaRue.
Okay. But I mean, there must be a licensing process somewhere, because otherwise you don't have licensed people.
There is a licensing process somewhere. It involves actual education records from approved universities or internship employment. Internship is actually beneficial here in Lamiera because it gets you that paperwork that you perhaps didn't get through educational facility.
Mike?
Mm-hmm.
Quick question. I'd assume that the one thing I would know about the message, about the coded message I transmitted, would be that it would still have to go to somewhere within my range of operation. Or is it possible that this system, since it's part of something I can't access, actually has a greater range than that, so I can't rule that out either?
Let me double check that. That's a good question.
Yeah, I just realized it now that it...
No worries. Let me look at what the comm server...
Server, it's large range.
350 kilometers.
300 kilometers, yeah. And did I improve your comm server at all?
No, it's reduced actually. You have it at 100.
Oh, okay. But it's encrypted.
Yes. But
Okay.
yes, I have it at 100 kilometer range.
Okay.
Which is why that if I knew that it would... Within 100, if it's bound by that range, by those constraints, then I would at least know that the message went to somewhere within 100 kilometers.
No. I want to say that the comm server range is intended as a range at which these communications are encrypted and can be back and forth, but I don't know enough about communications to know whether that's making it primitive or letting it still be advanced.
Neither do I.
Ask and you shall receive. What's the exact question?
Why is a comm server's range 300 kilometers? What constrains it?
Probably just the technology it uses.
It'll literally just be signal. It'll
Signal
be
to noise
because most
ratio.
probably, if you're a comm server, it'll be hooked into a ship, and it'll be using the ship as a massive antenna, and that'll send and receive all the signals.
And that's why
That's my
it's able
theory of how it works, because that's how most shit works.
Yeah, it's kinda how it does that.
and that would be
Using
why you can
range.
communicate orbitally with your ship, and even outside of orbit, hours away. But the comm server, well, I know at least that when you send a message, using, well, electromagnetic radiation or light, there is no actual range for that. It can.
I mean, right now we're communicating at considerably more than 100 kilometer distance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no. This the range for your comm server is for a stable connection and
Right.
and actually
Okay, so-
maintaining authorization and connections. This could have
Correct. So
gone
that
out.
that message could have gone out to a much larger, to a much larger distance.
Yeah, the only
Hell,
constraint.
for all I know, it could even been sent to a waiting Dropbox and then dispatched out of system.
Well, you do know that it was sent as an outgoing message to be carried, so it's going to leave the system.
Right.
It'll leave the system through normal mail carriers or couriers, but it is
Yes,
on its
it
way
is.
out of the system.
Right. Okay, that's what I wanted to know if I knew that for sure or not, or if I could rule that it was a local going going out to somewhere within the city or nearby city or something like that. But okay, good, perfect.
Okay. Did that answer your questions also, Nick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, she makes still worth the job for now.
Okay. I actually feel like this is a good place to stop. It's not a cliffhanger, so I'm giving Emma